Hello, everyone. Welcome back. My name is Chris. I'm with Kazumi Channel Productions, and today I was contacted by a fellow YouTuber, and they asked me how I rigged up my characters in Anime Studio Pro, but I'm gonna show you the basics. Alrighty, I'm going to go in there right now. Ignore this. So anyway, somebody had asked me on YouTube how to rig up a character. Well, technically, it was supposed to be what is it called? For Anime Studio Pro 9. So do I have 11? But it really doesn't matter. But anyway, I'm gonna start on designing a quick character to demonstrate how rigging works. That's ugly. There we go. So now, if you guys haven't before, please leave me a like, comment, and share on this video. That will really help me out in views. Um, I know that with my work, it's well, work as in like in real life, not here on YouTube, but it's doing good. So anyway, what I was being asked by the YouTuber, I'm going to just use the YouTuber phrase because I don't know what they really are, but please forgive me. So anyway, let's actually write this Adventure Time character out fast. And also, I'm quite pleased that somebody had contacted me about this animation thing so that the way I can get views and stuff. And you got to forgive my speaking speaking voice. I had a cold last week, probably. So anyway, that's pretty good for the tutorial. Oh, I specifically asked a couple of days ago, um, how do I put everything in the group layer, and how do I um, rig the characters to the bone? Now, of course, with Anime Studio, it's easier just to show you guys instead of just trying to guess um, what they really want. So, um, anyway, I'm going to create the body real fast. And if you guys have anything, um, yeah, excuse me, my goodness, I cannot talk. But anyway, if you guys have any ideas for any of my animations or anything at all, just please message me on um, YouTube or I'm on Twitter. I'm on Twitter. This isn't going to be my advanced character rig, but it will just simply show you how I do stuff. Since now I have a working microphone to play around with, was just bad before. So what I'm doing right there is putting these layers into a bone layer. And so in order to do that, guys, all you got to do with Anime Studio Pro, this is it's all the Anime Studio Pro versions from 11 down to 5. Just go to your tab right there, select new, and select group layer. And we can ignore all these except for the bone and probably the switch. Okay, I just renamed this neck. Okay, like I saw the YouTuber's video. Let me actually make it a horrible arm right here. It's ugly. No, I don't care. But anyway, what do you guys need to do? Well, if you guys know anything about Anime Studio, um, well, for the limb binding and stuff, usually with myself, this is only my preference to get the Adventure Time style. I don't normally create shapes just like this for the arm, but if I have to, I will. But anyway, you start off with a rectangle, just say create shapes, and then here I will do it again. All you do is just drag it over to here and create the fast arm. For this demonstration purpose, I'm not gonna worry about it. So with Anime Studio, at the new versions at all, there's a curvature tool. the draw toolbox. So what I like to do now is I cannot talk today. My goodness. Sorry guys. First you want to add a point to the already existing shape. Usually I select try to select the right the middle here. That's only because with Anime Studio Pro it likes to for the bone rigging, it likes to center around the pivot point around the bone. I'll just show you that in a few minutes. This will be the top. Top and then instead of trying to redraw the shape that I normally do is well what I like to do is duplicate the layer and then go ahead and press T. That's a shortcut for position forgive me, transform points. Then with this already created um in the staging area at frame 0, I like to drag to the location of where the arm is. Hold on. Hold on. Let me zoom in. Okay. And a lot of times with this type of rigging, well, if you're gonna use a shape um, for the arm, let's say, um, and if you're gonna break down the actual component, well, I like to overlap the two shapes on the separate layers so that I can have more precise bending when I decide to bend the limb. We need to bump this back up. The reason why I adjusted the opacity is to just make sure that that I can line up the two arms. Then you go over here to display quality to rig up the character. That's what I do, but you guys don't have to. And then of course create the base bone. Then on this top layer where it says um, body at the base at the layer that says body, you want to add the new bone. Um, And do you guys see where this outline is? Maybe or you maybe not can see it. So right in the middle of this bone here, you can see the points being extruded out. Well, that's the best way to do it, I found, because or else you will have problems in the long run. And I hope this helps you guys to rig your own characters with Anime Studio. And don't worry about all this, if none of the features in Anime Studio 9 doesn't match up with 11, they're gonna still work with Anime Studio. Then what I try to do next is to line up these two bones right next to each other. Do you see where this crosshair is? Well, this is gonna be where it's gonna twist around the um, already constructed object in that layer. So right now, after I have done that, um, I might as well do everything else real fast. And in order to get this in a group, um, actually the individual that was contacting me earlier, this week had asked me that too. Oh, how do you put everything in group layers and have it controlled by these bones? Well, in order to do that, um, I I'm not 100% sure if it's available with Anime Studio 9. I know it's on 10, but I've been with Anime Studio for years. Good program. All you do is just select a new group, call it um excuse the ugly character. So anyway, after that's done, you drag the two layers that you want, and it will be highlighted. And then all you got to do is drag until the group layer is highlighted in the red. So after that's done, condense this for a bit, and then let me guys show you something else. So when you guys are rigging up your characters, um, to with Anime Studio, it basically goes by a parenting system. What the parenting system is, and don't worry about this icon right there if it doesn't match up. It's still the same thing. But however, with Anime Studio 11, it's not going to allow you to parent these down the timeline. So what do you guys want to do now when you're rigging? Make sure this parent you got to excuse my roommates again. They're just waking up. Oh my gosh. It's already 12. How dare they? But anyway, I'm getting confused. sorry. With this parenting bone, you see how this arrow right here is pointing down to the bone. If I zoom in, to select the bone, you'll notice that the bone is pointing to the base bone. Got to excuse me for a second. Alrighty, I'm back. So as I was trying to say before, this parenting bone, you see how these arrows are pointing to the main bone that I created? Um, sorry. So let's say if you added the bone now and go, I don't want that, but I want the shoulder bone to connect to the body. Well, there's actually two ways you can actually base it right here, which should be fine. So I really want to um, demonstrate how this binding or group binding works and stuff. Um, so before I make a duplicate of this layer, I just want to make the um, origin point to the middle of the shoulder. I'll show you guys why in a second. So when I go ahead and flip this bone or this layer around, excuse me, notice how it just flipped to the other side. Well, I really don't want that in this arm layer, group layer. And then what you want to do is just duplicate it again, flip it around, and then go ahead and just drag the layer to the right till it shows you where you want it to be. Um, then also with every Anime Studio Pro edition, actually you can highlight these bones over here on frame 0 and copy them. So that way you can just drag them over to the bones that you really wanted to be. But anyway, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to add a quick bone right here called, this is going to be the body bone or the chest bone. Then go ahead and repair that. You want to press Alt on the keyboard and wait until it's select red, of course, and then go ahead and highlight the chest bone that we want it to be bound to. Then over here, when you're adding bones, well, you can either have it two ways. You can either just have it automatically parent the bone, and then of course after you've created this chest bone, you can just drag it to the left. So after that's completed, I'm not going to worry about anything else for today. Just the fact that um, it's more it's more work. I'm pretty lazy. All this, uh, and just by renaming it, it's just my organization. When I do these characters with an anime studio, after I got the bones um, kind of completed already, one more should do it. Then also he's going to wait. Select the head bone. The with Anime Studio Pro 9, I do know that the smart bones are active. However, they are controlled by the points. I'll demonstrate that pretty soon. So anyway, sorry, I'm a little bit off topic here. Let's actually create another group layer, call it head, just so that it's easier to know what I'm looking at. And I'm binding these layers. So after you have laid out your bones in the in the staging area or the canvas, I don't know what you guys call it, but anyway, so with Anime Studio, I know that with every Anime Studio version, its default is something like this. Where you see the red, with a red outline. And this is called the strength of the bone. All all it does is just tell the computer that these bones control this amount of area on the screen here. And then, of course, with all my animations, of course, I really don't want that. So I'm going to over here to bone strength, selecting them all, and type in 0, or you also can drag it um, to the left. Don't worry about that. Now within Anime Studio now, we can go ahead and bind these layers. Um, for the smart bone, if you're going to use smart bones in your animation for this rig, for example, yeah, I know it looks horrible. However, with Anime Studio, of course, bonded to the body, not to the direct smart bone. So I'm just going down the group layer, and then with these individual layers, I'm just go ahead and just bind everything to the rig right now. But then also with the binding, of course, it depends on what you're trying to do with their animation. Some people um, that I know like to use Adobe Adobe Photoshop to create their artwork first, then import it into Anime Studio. But however, I rarely touch Photoshop for my drawing. It's annoying. But anyway, yeah, I never. After everything is mined together, I want to go ahead and test out this rig. And do you see how they when I render this thing out, do you see right here where the elbow is? All dislocated. I'll just show it again. The actual um timeline. You just want to advance it to frame 6 or anywhere else besides frame 0. And do you see how well, I don't know if you guys can see that. I'll just create a different there real fast. Make a background. There we go. There's some visibility. Okay. Do you think, guys, as my character raises up his arm um, down by the shoulders, by down by the elbow, starts to be dislocated from the joints. Let's say if I don't want that. There's actually two ways to approach it. You can go on the timeline, for example, and translate the points, translate the bone, sorry, until you see a perfect elbow. I'm not get there right now. You can do that by zooming in here. But the only problem with this method is to, in order to make the arm kind of not disjointed and stuff from this method without any smart bones, that you always have to readjust the bones every time that you want to move the character. Um, it's not automatic. Actually, actually back to it, I was saying about the YouTuber that was contacting me last week um, for how small bones work. Well, for example, if I want the limb to not be all warped and stuff, um, See, I already highlighted the bone. And do you see where it says B6 on the bare top? Um, well, you want to copy that name down there. Go into action palette and create a new action called B6. And then do you see the timeline jumped from white to blue? That means that in the that within the anime studio, it recognizes that bone as a smart bone now because I used uh, the bone name of B6. You guys see that B6? Oh, yeah. So anyway, with my experience with Anime Studio with the Swan Bones, I found it more proficient to go at the higher frames when I do the Swan Bone actions. Just because the Anime Studio is weird like that. But anyway, I'm going to reposition it the way I want it to. And what I'm doing is laying out how the bone, how the arm is going to have an extreme action. So this is called the extreme action where you have the arm um, pointing in that direction that you want it in. So if you scrub through the timeline, um, through the arrow case, you can see how the character's arm is bending. But with my but when I do render this out, do you see where it is dislocated? I don't want that. So with the smart bones activated, I want to adjust the right arm. So I'm gonna select the um, layer that is giving me problems. So it's, for example, T. So on the timeline where it says 96, I'm going to just be moving the points. It may look weird when I do this. That's only because when I'm actually moving the shapes, I'm actually moving the points that will destroy the image. So when I render this out, um, it appears that the arm elbow is just overlapping with the other forearm. So that's what I want. Then after that's done, um, you want to come back out. Well, with me, I just go on any other frame besides frame 0 and just manipulate the bones. Do you know how, well, it's still kind of messed up, but uh, Let me make sure of something first before I do this. Finalize the animation. Okay. There's other ways around it too. But this method, by controlling the what is it called? The points. It will also work with the Anime Studio Pro 9 too. Sometimes when you're not very familiar with your character, how they're built and well, how they're designed and stuff, you got to play around with it sometimes. So right now, I'm going through the main timeline. Do you see how the um arm, well, where it bends is now flush with each other? Okay. Um, but I still have to remember too that on my um YouTube commenter is working with Anime Studio 9, not 11. So there's only about a few changes between the two versions. Um, for one thing, when I make smart bone action, it's gonna be kind of different when I'm making a smart bone action with an anime studio versus 11 and 9. First off, with 9, of course, you can only control the points. Don't know why, but it's true. And and they had asked me, how do I have a smart bone controlling these group layers? So after I created the one smart bone um, that's called turn, I want to go ahead and highlight that with my cursor and select it and copy it. And then I will go over to actions, create a new action and call it turn. And so for the head turn, it's gonna be very, very simple. So you go on, what I do is usually go on frame 120. So with this type of character, you don't have to. That's only because it's such a simple character to work with. Go ahead and for the and then reset that ankle. Um, the layout to the manipulate bones might be a little bit different from 9 to 11. So anyway, after that's done, I want to go here and go on frame 1 again. Then select these points. Control press T to translate. So while I'm doing this, right now it's just condensing all the points. Then go over to 48 where I had made the bone bone keyframe on 48. Do the same thing, just reset the points. Um, T on the keyboard. So all you got to do is just reset the points and bam, it's right there. And once again, I'm going to shift the points by pressing shift. It's very helpful. Try to, I'm actually trying to match um, the contours of the face when I do head turns nowadays instead of back before. Okay, and that should work now. So go here and um, on the actions, double click on the main timeline. Right now, everything should be working for the right arm and the head turn. So I'm gonna continue to finish that real fast. So of course, this bone highlighted with the name of B3. You can call it anything that you want. It really doesn't matter to Anime Studio. And in order to do the small bones correctly, you go on to this top layer right here. Then this and go to frame 96. Just for example, select the most extreme. Then select the points. And then in order to do a second action with the other side, you always want to select the main layer that you're going to work with, or the bone layer for this instance. Then do the same thing. Copy T, then space, then over here you call it 2. And what this will do is make a secondary action with a small bone. And of course, you select the bone and select the most extreme point in the animation. Um, okay, that should be different right now. Um, but what I do recommend to this YouTuber real fast. I'm gonna just look for real quick. Sorry. Um, it was it was actually called Silly Fan. That contacted me. So thank you for contacting me. This really helps me and you. believe it or not. Because I need to create um, more video content for my channel, and then it also helped you out with your anime anime studio animation. So what I do recommend you should do, silly fans, is to buy Anime Studio 11 if you got the money, but go ahead and stick with Anime Studio 9 and 10 possibly, if you're on the budget. But yeah, let's do a fast animation real quick with this cool character that I created. Yeah, I know, it's cool, right? So, let's have him hold something. How about some cheesecake? Yeah, you got to know about me. I love cheesecake. Okay, I'm from zero. I'm gonna just import um anime studio object into my to my work project file. Trying to find it. Trying to find it. Hello, cheesecake. Where are ya? Uh, so of course, excuse the background. Oh, enough of this. I'm gonna just import the object from Anime Studio content library. Um, it's super easy. It's just this icon. It's on it's on most of the versions, previous versions, including 9. So let's have him hold the drink. So, oh my god. That's okay. So after this one, well, he's gonna hold it with his right hand, so we're gonna drag this layer top above his head. And then instead of selecting the right arm group layer, I'm gonna just drag this one over to where I need it. And that's too big, so I'm gonna just shrink it down to the proper size. Try to go like that. And then want to have them put this object into Anime Studio Pro. You want to go ahead and bind this layer with a corresponding um, bone. So, for example, this will be the forearm of the right side. Actually, let's make this guy a little bit cooler now. So, guys, have a question for you guys. What did you guys want to see on my channel? I'm having a kind of a rough time here to guess what you guys want me to do, because of course I could do I could practically do everything um with Anime Studio, but however with that again I don't know what you guys want me to do to get for it order to be in order for people to go ahead and subscribe to my channel. But anyway, I'm gonna add the bone, and you notice that I added a couple points too. So at this point, I'm going to select this bone. Well, this is called point binding, and what point binding does is actually bind these points instead of the whole layer into the um bone. It uses the points instead of the layer. Sorry. So go ahead and just do that. Then go down here and select the remaining points. So on these 4 points, and then go over here to bind points. I want him to actually bend when I do this animation. So anyway, right here I'm going to rename this bone chest, because like the name. And then go over here to ankle wrist constraints. What this will do is actually constrict the bone movements of this bone, so that way it doesn't twist. I know it doesn't twist and turn and do all funky stuff. The reason why the head is disconnected from the body is because I did not parent it right to the proper bone. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and bind it to this chest bone right here for the head. Let's do that test again. Something's a mess. I'll solve it. Okay, that's a lot better. I'm happy. See, what happened was that I did not parent this bone to the base bone. So that looks pretty good for this demonstration. So let's do something cool. So what I do for my animations, go into frame one, and then hold these keyframes, all of them, so that the bones don't slide everywhere. So anyway, I'm going to readjust these layers so that way they can match what I'm doing. Sorry about that. Um, then go over here and select this. I should do that. Oh, I forgot Neck. Okay, so let me. When you guys add new bones and stuff, this is a perfect example. Don't be adding keyframes and then adding new bones that will mess up your animation severely. So anyway, we'll go ahead and um, anchor this bone and go over here and select Alt. Select this bone and then finally this bone. And this will actually stop the animation from sliding everywhere that I don't want. So anyway, what you guys want to do is just go over to the bone manipulation tool and reset these like so. There we go. And then, ooh, make sure those. Unless you've been talking about this. See, this is actually a bug within Anime Studio. There's a way to fix it. Sometimes with Anime Studio, it just forgets sometimes of what it was doing before. So, Uh-huh. In that case, I will just switch out the thing, and then since this guy is holding the cup, oh, the wrong way, for example, that's easily fixed. Okay, I'm happy. So, let's see if he's gonna take a big swig of his drink here. Well, on Perlman, I had told the told the bones on Perlman I want the position of these bones to be right here. So, anyway, I'm going to advance it to about Perm 6. Mm, there we go. Excuse me. Sorry about that, guys. I'm back. Um, so then he's going to the swig here, or his drink. So, anyway, then after this extreme keyframe thing going on, then I can go ahead and just copy the frames from frame 6, and he will revert back to his position. Then I want him to be kind of pointed normal, and he looks at the camera. So anyway, I'm going to just go ahead and tell the angle. I want that position. So anyway, and you notice that the action is way too short. So what I'm going to do is highlight the frames, then drag them over. Then Prime 48. And drag this. Mm. You can just wave at this for a second. Okay. Don't want to already have your um, keyframes already put in the main timeline. Let's see if this is going to be a uh, animation that you're going to use constantly, like a walk cycle, for instance. Um, what you want to do is just select this body and then call it action 5. So I don't know what to call it. But anyway, select the main timeline only once. Then do see where it says insert reference or copy reference. Sorry. Select that and the boom. It's already in there. So anyway, is just waving to us. Make sure that the arm isn't disjointed. And it also depends on how you build your character too. Um, just like this one, I took careful consideration about the arms over the bones and the layers met. Okay, so so please, if you guys have any questions, please post it down or message me on uh, social media. I'm on Twitter. Uh, it is called. Give me a sec. Let's see. Give me a sec. Give me a second. Okay. So anyway, you can can join me on social media at uh Kazumi Pro on Twitter. I have the link below, and I'll also I'll also do this real fast. Just give me a second. Silly fans. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to have his channel featured on my channel, and you can also subscribe to him or her. I really don't know. But they really have cool. Um, looks like they have pretty cool animations in here too. Sorry, sorry. Man, I wish I had two screens. Okay, so his link will be down below, or her. I don't know. Anyway, I'm Chris from Kazumi Channel Productions. Now, please likes, comments, and subs to my channel, and even share. Okay, so I'm out of here. Have a good day, guys.